we go. All set and live. I'm live too, Kat. I'm just getting everybody in. Come on. Why is technology just not working for me today? Oh, it's gonna be one of them days. Good morning. Good morning. Don't mind me, I'm trying to finish up my breakfast because, you know, I'm running late this morning. Give me 1 second.
You got exit 16.
What? Alright. Pardon me. I have to shove food down my throat. Because I wasn't feeling good this morning. Probably because I didn't go to bed until after 3. And I was back up at 8. Reluctantly. But excited. Why? Because I'm back doing the Sass. So, before we get started, grab a pen, piece of paper, like the 3 dots up at the top. Grab your coffee, of course, or beverage of choice. And today I'm two-fisting it. I have coffee in here, water in here. So, but first we must coffee. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Vicky and Donna and Kim. This is Romper Room, by the way. And Billy and Angela and Tammy. And Margot. Margot, I gotta go to Margot for a second. Margot posted a great tutorial. If you haven't seen it, go on our Facebook page and look up the socks that she did, and which fits in perfectly with a series that I'm gonna start doing, and that is thinking outside the box. And I'm going to try to incorporate that into all the Sasses for this year and how you can take one item and think outside the box. So we're going to kick that off today. Let's see. I'm glad I'm back too. First and foremost, let's get this party started. This is the Sass. This is January 6th, 2019, and welcome, and I hope you guys have had a great holiday. I took the last 2 weeks off for self-preservation. I took it off to spend time with my family. I took it off just for me. I'm going to show you guys around my shop today because I'm really excited about some of the things that I have done. I revamped my entire shop. I showed some of the progress that I made. And trust me, it's 5,000 times better. And actually, because of where my new shop stuff is, the camera angle, so much better. So, I'm pretty excited. So, let me just put my stuff away, and we'll get started. Do I have a solid grass? Wow, right out of the gate, huh, Cindy? Actually, I have a 400 and an 800, but we'll talk about that in a little while. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to start off our 2019 Sass with going over the group rules. I know you guys are like, oh, here she goes, but I'm counting on all of you who constantly watch the Sass to be able to help all of the moderators, and I think there's like 10 of us, moderate our group. Our group is growing in leaps and bounds. We have literally jumped thousands of members since the beginning of the year, and we're only in day 6. A lot of people got stuff for Christmas or decided, you know what, let's jump on this bandwagon with everybody else. There's still lots of love out there to give. But as newbies, and I gotta be honest, we are people who don't like to read. People post something, they don't read the top, they don't read the comments, and that's just how it goes. I know each and every one of you have said you've read the rules, but let's be honest, you didn't, okay? If you did, kudos. If you didn't, could you just go read them? So here are some main points, and I'm going to skip through all of the rules, but there are some that you really need to pay attention to, and that's no in search of posts allowed in our main group. Now, we have a D-Stash group, we have a graphics group, so in those sister groups, all right, even then, in search of posts are very limited, okay? Keep that in mind. So in our main group, no in search of posts. And if you see somebody posting an in search of post and one of us moderators haven't jumped on it yet, either tag us in it or report it because it's not allowed. 2, don't post your damn website, okay? I don't want to know that you're selling it. I don't want to know that you're in a group buy or that you're starting a group buy group. This is the Sass, so you're going to get it full force, okay? So just keep this in mind this morning. Don't be posting any of that stuff. It violates key rules, okay? So let's not do it. And if you see somebody posting, oh, I have a buy-in group, report that immediately, okay? Red flag it, I don't care. You know, loss of down, whatever the hell you want to call it, I don't care. But report it to us. Report it. There's a report button. Please report that because we don't want those in our group, okay? Can you say where you bought an item? Condi, JPP, Hellbound, Coney Island, Coastal, JDS? Absolutely. But if it's another buy-in group, nope, sorry, that doesn't work, okay? That's not allowed in our group, okay? So there's that. If you see some questionable content, and what I mean by that is bullying. We're grown adults and bullying still happens, okay? Choose kind, people. Choose to be kind, choose to be caring. And if you see somebody being bullied, I mean, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I had a total moment the other night when somebody was trying to explain something and my brain was just fried. Keep this in mind, okay? We were all new once. We're all gonna ask the same dumb questions because that's just what we do. And if they tell you there's no such thing as a dumb question, it's only a dumb question when you haven't utilized the search bar. Depending on if you're on your phone, it's up at the top. If it's on the side and you're on your computer, it's called a search bar. Type it in. If you actually type in my name, just type in Nikki, you will see a gazillion things come up. Type in Sawgrass 400. Type in Sawgrass 800. Type in Epson. Or anything that has to do with mugs. Type in keywords and you will see a gazillion posts. Now, with that said, if you haven't found the answer you're looking for, then please ask. That's when it's no longer a dumb question. Or maybe you really overlooked it. But also too, here's one of probably my biggest pet peeves. Okay? And it's one surefire way to send me from happy-go-lucky sunshiny Nikki to douche canoe. Okay? Really, that quick. And here is what it is. When you don't read the comments. Read the comments. Click read. See, because sometimes we've answered the question and it's in the comments. We haven't gone back and revamped the post that we did because we're human. Okay? Read the comments. Just read the comments. I mean, even if there's like 14 billion comments, scan through them. Do a quick scan. See if somebody's already answered the question before you go and ask, hey, how'd you do that? Well, she only described it about 15 comments ago. Why don't you go look? Okay? We teach our children to go seek for the answer. Why, as an adult, we can't do that ourselves is beyond me. So, those are my Sass disclaimers for this new 2019. I look forward to not having to re-explain those until at least another 6 months from now. Because that's when we'll be a new whole revamped of, hey, reminders. So, let's see. All right, so I'm going to show you a quick tour of my new shop, and then we're going to get right started on some things that we, and let me give you a preview of what we're going to do today. So these are the silicone mats that you can get from Michael's. I got mine from Michael's. You can get them from Home Depot, or not Home Depot. You can't get silicone mats from Home Depot, so don't. Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's. It's in the baking section of their stores, and mine's pink. So I'm going to show you that. We are going to talk about flashing. Excuse me. We're going to talk about, hold on. I've been one busy girl. Okay, I have been preparing. How I made these. And then some really cute little fun things. Alright, we have that. I'm also going to show you how I did my mug, because we're going to do a mug live, using the wrap yet again. Because you guys wanted to see me actually use my silicone mats instead of my red mats that I get, because this is a more affordable option. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to talk about my color light. I don't even know if you can see it in the picture. My color light panel and the struggles that I went through with that. So we have lots to talk about in this 2 hours. So let's get started. But I really want to show off my shop, because in this new year, it's all about recreating and building on you. Okay, me, it was revamping my shop. It meant finding what works best for me. I'm going to give each Sass moving forward. What I'm going to do is set a goal. Okay, one goal for you to work on. My goal is boundaries. Okay, that's a great business goal. Boundaries. And what the hell are you talking about? Setting your boundaries with your clients. See, here's the thing. I live on my computer. I'm a designer. I also have all of my physical stuff that I do, but I have, because Facebook is such a wonderful thing, where you can get in contact with that person 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year, and it makes me, as a business owner, feel like I have to answer them. Here's the thing, and you got to practice it, and it's really hard, because I could tell you 100% fact that I don't want to answer a question while I'm out to dinner with my family, but I feel compelled to. Why? Because I feel like I'm going to miss out on that next business opportunity. This isn't a live or die situation here. But what you can do, and what I've started to do, this is my New Year's resolution. No, it's not to lose weight. I'm already on that train. But it's more or less learning to set boundaries. So yesterday, I had a lot of people, it was Saturday, I do work on Saturdays, message me, asking me things, but it was after hours. It was after the hours I had set. So I answered them with, yes, I can do that, but we can revisit this on Monday when I'm back in the office. Because it means I'm taking Sunday off. I don't want to talk to you from this point on. I'm being as kind as I possibly can without saying, dude, I cannot answer you. Even, the representatives at some major companies have hours and they don't answer you. So don't assume that I'm going to answer you too. Okay? And then once I usually say to them, hey, X, Y, and Z, they're like, oh, right, it's Saturday night. Insert heavy eye roll, because it's like, no kidding, okay? I have a life too. I don't have to answer you from my bathroom. I don't have to answer you while I'm in the movie theater. I don't have to answer you, but don't get mad at me either when I don't answer you, okay? And that even goes even as a graphics designer. I try really hard to answer all of them, but I'm setting boundaries. So if I don't answer you, it's because, you know what? I need a break and I need some self-care, and that means taking a time out from answering all these questions. It's not that I'm being rude. It's just I really do take time for me. So keep that in mind. I want you to set one goal this week. And the one goal can be just that. Set boundaries with your clients by setting hours, by setting when you're going to answer them, putting up an auto response on your phone, on your social media, whatever it may be. Set a boundary, okay? Because we get so tied up in this business that we really feel like the only way we're ever going to make that sale is if we answer them right away. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that's your food for thought. That's your business insight. Next week we'll talk about whatever it is we're going to talk about. But that's this one, and that's mine, so you guys can adapt it, but pick one item. Yes, Secretary, it is always you. And I'm going to say this if I answer you, I'm going to answer you. But if I give you the, I'll revisit this on Monday conversation, it means I've tapped out and I kind of just want to be left alone. If I don't give you that, it means I'm answering you. And for the most part, I want you to know this. All of my sublimation friends from Sublimation and More, I consider you guys a huge university. We're all going to school together, okay? Because that's what Sublimation and More is. It's like going back to school. We've got to research, we've got to do our homework, blah, blah, blah. If you're asking me a question from a Sub and More group, that's fine. As long as you're not asking me to do a design or build, press a mug, for you to buy from me, then we're not having this conversation. But if you're asking me because your printer has gone funky, I'm going to answer you. Okay? So it's a twofold, especially being a moderator, it's a twofold thing. Okay, so keep that in mind. I look at Sub and More as a university and we're all going to school together and we need our peers. So that is different than my actual physical clients for when I'm making mugs, plaques, and all of that. So keep that, there's definitely difference because people are going to get that confused. I just had a question about an orange light coming up after I print. I just got an orange light coming on. I don't know why the orange light's coming on, Cindy, but we'll revisit that. I know Marvin might be able to answer that. He's one of our moderators. You can reach out to him. He's Marvin, and it's P-E-A. I always mess his last name up, and he's going to laugh at me. I know he is. But message him. He's one of the moderators. He might be able to help you why that orange light's coming on for your sawgrass. Yes, Margot talks to me at 2 a.m. But that's because Margot's up doing insane things like I am. Like I used to have a client that would call me. Yes. Put your away messages up. That's the best thing. All right. So, like I said, I revamped my shop. What I did, and let's get this thing off of my tripod so I can show you everything that I did and why I did what I did. Hold on. Ugh. Okay. So, sorry, I can't turn it. Or you guys are gonna all be upside down. Okay. So, over here, people have asked me what I've used for my different stations. So this is a countertop, believe it or not. All right. And then I took bookshelves that I got from a yard sale, actually. And they sit under my countertop. And I have L bracket down at the corner to the wall. So I have the 2 heat presses, my convection oven. This is my mug press and my hat press all sitting on that space. I can't come up with a really neat way to do my vinyl, to be honest with you. But that's how I've got it. And so far, it's been working for me for the last 3 years. So this is where I keep a lot of my packing supplies and stuff that I'm going to need for up top. We're going to swing it around. So I bought this shelving. You usually see this shelving in Home Depot. This shelving actually, I used in my bakery. It's adjustable, so you can pick the height that you want those shelves at. It's very durable, and kind of need that because some of our stuff is kind of heavy. As you can see, I carry a lot of stock. It's ridiculous, the stock that I carry. So then people are going to ask, okay, so how do you coordinate? So in here, like, this is all Halebound. This is the stuff that I get from Halebound. Okay, and I label it because if it's like grouped together, so this is all my MDF, that kind of stuff. I try to label as much as I can with everything that I have. It's not a perfect science, okay? Then in here, this is my, sorry, let me pull it back for a second. This is my new white cabinet because I have a cat. I ain't gonna lie. And cats like warm, cuddly things. I have Coney Island issues. I'm going to an AA meeting for this. Or an AC meeting. Or addicted to Coney Island. I really have issues. I ain't gonna lie. So, this is all of my, a lot of this is Coney Island. All of this over here happens to just be t-shirts and whatnot. These are sweatshirts because they take up so much space. But I've gone through all of this and people are like, well, how do you know it's there? Well, I just do. Okay, it's called inventory. You do inventory once a month. All right. Over in here is, God bless you, Kevin, is my, Mary Frances. Mary Frances, I know you do. I'm usually on the phone when you're calling Stan. So this is my workbench. Now, the nice part about this workbench is it's an adjustable one. So I can take this and bring this up to the height of this. So now my work surface, and I'm going to, sorry for this. Hold on. Gonna give you a big view. Okay. So this table can be the height of this table, creating a 4x4 space. I have a cutting mat because sometimes I need to cut and I really don't want to cut on that wood. So I went and got a cutting mat that's used for, yep, it's coming to me. Oh, when you make quilts. Okay, so for fabric and whatnot, and I have a rotary cutter and whatnot. So that's to protect that work surface. Then over here, this is typically found, well, you can find it in a workshop, but you can also find it in the bakery section of like Sam's or one of those big places. It comes with some slide out drawers. This I happened to get from a guy who was literally selling off his stuff for his computer business, and I scored those. So I scored that, and that for like $300. Score me, brand new. He was closing up his shop to move back into his house. So, and over here, again, utilize bookshelves, flea markets or garage sales. Get yourself some bookshelves, really cheap. Who cares what they really look like as long as you can store on there. I get these things to be able to put all this, so like my snap stuff from Hellbound. Again, just stuff that I carry a lot of crap. All right, so that is the revamped workspace. Yeah, show me some hearts. I worked hard on this. It was 4 long days of going through this shop. And I mean, I utilize all that top space. That's my utility. Oh, whoops, sorry. That's the utilities over there. Again, a bookshelf that I didn't need, but I could use it for my utility stuff. I utilize all my top space. It's all about thinking outside the box. And how you think outside the box is think vertical. Okay? You don't have to have everything down here. You utilize the space up there. Oh, sorry, I'm having way too much fun. Thank you. So people have asked me about currently my hot glue gun is sitting on there. No, it's not on. But this is my 16 by 20. It is an auto open. Let me pull this off, sorry. So I have a slide out drawer. And here's the nice part about my clamshell auto open, because I was like, oh my God, you have a clamshell? And dude, I've got 2. Okay. Mine, this teeters. There's a reason this teeters, because I don't have a swing away. So this teeters to be able to sit flat and manipulate in order to sit on top of like slates and whatnot. So I use this for the awkward stuff. And then I have my little cheap press here that I bought from Amazon. You know what? Use and abuse it. To spend a whopping $175 on it. It's a 15 by 15 clamshell. It owes me nothing. Okay. I actually have 3 heat presses. I have one downstairs as well. Yes, I have this light up here, which is weird because people are like, why? Because sometimes I need to be able to see in there. Okay. And in here. So that is that. That is the shop du jour. Now, people are also going to ask, what do you keep in your shop? Like, supplies wise. All right, shall we look? So this is that lint roller. It's a velvet lint roller. The velvet lint roller actually works great for all the velvet, the velour of pulling off all the stuff. Now I also have your regular sticky lint roller, okay? Because again, it doesn't matter as long as I have both and I use both, okay? Always have some baggies available, 3M command strips, labels. Down in here, because everybody wants to see what I have. I don't know why. But anyway, my dry erase boards, different papers I have, rubber bands, because you can never have enough rubber bands, business cards. Yes, I put this towel here because sometimes my fingers get all sorts of gross. This is my tools that I have because, again, tools. And these, let's talk about these. Do you realize that I use these in my sublimation? You're like, what? What if you have a little tiny spot that just didn't, it's kind of on the corner, your neoprene that didn't just quite right? You can actually use these and match up the colors. I've used those for little tiny mistakes. Obviously, huge ones don't work. So there's that. I have my cutter that I cut my transfers with. That bad boy sits right here. I'm still learning my own shop. Sorry. So there's that. I got this from Michael's. Just FYI, we had a new Michael's open, so I'm kind of just like obsessed because it's only like 5 minutes down the road. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll talk about that later. Hanging files and whatnot for different storage. So that has been, I'm going to put you guys back up where you belong. That has been the adventure I have been on for the last week or so while I've been in and doing work. So it has been absolutely an incredible break. I needed the break and needed to do what I needed to do. So there you go. You have your coffee yet? I do. All right. Nikki, what do you have sitting on the bottom plates of your press? Sorry if it's oh. So, all right. To Teflon or not to Teflon? That is that question. In sublimation, right, here's the stupid disclaimer. Okay, in sublimation, you're not supposed to be using Teflon because if it off-gases improperly, then it's because this does not allow the moisture to come out. But I'm always about a loophole. So on my heat press, I have this foam piece. I don't want to ruin this foam piece. I don't want anything to off-gas on it. And yes, if you're using protective paper, it won't happen. But you know what? Stuff bleeds through that protective paper. Okay? So I'm protecting my platen, my bottom one. I literally put this Teflon sheet on the bottom, and then I lay my protective paper on it. Because if for some reason it does off-gas and seeps through the paper, which can happen, then I can easily wipe it off of this. And I use one of Stan's premium lens cloths because it has nice grippies on it. And I use that, and I will wipe this down really quick. I'll wipe it down a lot, actually. And then on my other one, there is a Teflon sheet, called something, but it actually is, it's a wraparound, and it came on my press, so it just, I've always left it there. But yes, so I only put my Teflon sheet on the bottom to protect my bottom platen, then I use protective paper, okay? This is just a barrier, so I don't want it, you know, ink or anything getting bedded into that foam. I'm protecting the foam. I'm gonna get 1,001 people go, oh my God, you did that? Yes, I did, get over it, okay? It's the only reason why that's there. I hope that answered your question, Miss Debbie. What size shop do I have? Not nearly big enough. That's a size, right? Not nearly big enough. My shop space, and actually if I turn it, you get to see where my other... That happens to be where I sit. So when I'm talking to you guys from the computer, that's my office space. And behind the chair is my Sawgrass 400. There's my Sawgrass 800 and all the other crap that I own. That's my GCC, my vinyl cutter, and my desk. So, hello. So I have all of that over there. I want to say it's 30 by 11? 30 by 11? Yeah, we'll go with that. That sounds like good numbers. Always Teflon. Learn my lesson. Which is true, Susan, but you know what? I'm going to get 1,001 hate mail messages now. You have no idea. Oh my God, you're always told. No, I'm not putting it on the top. That's a no-no. Yay! I love the mug. You drink it. Well, so do I. I love my mug too. Because you know what? It's my birthday month. Yes, I celebrate it. And I just need to point something out too, okay? I'm not a pro by any stretch. But even us elders, I don't even know what the hell to call myself. Yeah, you know what? Even we make mistakes. I pushed it down too far. I could have pushed it up a little bit further and it didn't, you know, press correctly. I make mistakes. And I'm going to use the same term that we all use. Oh, it's just for me. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. All right. Let's get this party started. So we're going to start out with flashing. Okay, because this is the age-old question, is how do you press on flashing? Now, I get the flashing from Home Depot, and as soon as, there it is, it comes in this little handy-dandy roll. I am full of it this morning, okay? Lack of sleep and lots of coffee has caused this sass, so I do apologize. So this is the aluminum flashing from Home Depot that I use. Okay, for me, it's in the back part of Home Depot. On the bottom shelf, there's a wide variety of sizes. So this is what I use. Now, please be careful when you open this, because when you open it, it's like a spring, and it goes, and it makes this really cool, weird thunder type sound. Okay, and then I just roll it back up and put some of my heat tape so it stays like this. But I leave the label on, so it kind of reminds me of when I'm getting low, which one I like. So I always get the 14 by 10. I don't know why. I just do. It's a good number for me. You get what you want. They have like 8 by 10 or whatever the heck it is. Okay? So there's that. Also, when you are cutting aluminum flashing, it is necessary to have the proper equipment. I'm sorry, I'm shedding and it's driving me nuts. These are aluminum scissors that you can get also at Home Depot. It's called Weiss. Has a locking mechanism. I didn't want your typical tin snips. I have tin snips. They are very archaic to use. I wanted scissors because I wanted to be able to cut along a straight line and be able to have a lot more control instead of just piling through it. Now, if you're accident prone, wear gloves, okay? I'm not accident prone, but I want to show you how easy it is. So you would draw a straight line on here, and if you're going to use a permanent marker when you're drawing on your flashing, put your line down, but cut to this side of your line, okay? Don't actually cut on the line because it'll be on there. And I literally have a lot more control using this to be able to cut that. Now, lock these up. People are going to go, oh, the flashing. Well, you can put this on a variety of different things. You can put it on pieces of wood. You can put it in a frame. You can put it on just about everything. What I tend to do is I have some, this happens to be a piece of sandpaper and on a block. And I will sit here, and you can even get a heavier grit, and I'll stand down just to take off any little tiny fragments or pieces of metal, just to smooth it just a little. I'm not saying sit there and, you know, sand the hell out of it. I'm just saying just to kind of soften it, to call something. So here was the design that I picked for this particular. All right, so this happens to be, now I want to show you. You see all that piece of that weird on there? That's okay. Just go take your handy dandy washcloth and some rubbing alcohol and that will come off, okay? That's just where the paper stuck. Don't freak out over it, okay? Because it's aluminum flashing, okay? It's not your typical substrate where you're just gonna peel it off. You might have to work at it a little bit. So I wanted to show you. Whoop. Love the shop. Here are some things you should definitely always have in your shop, okay? One is rubbing alcohol. Always have some rubbing alcohol, okay? There's something to be said for it. So you have rubbing alcohol. I use a towel, all right? These are just some of the things that you use in everyday life, okay? Rubbing alcohol is cheap, by the way. Okay, you sit here and you literally can go like this and all that paper will literally just come right off. You can use hot soapy water too. All right, there's no need to fight it, but this will all come off with a little bit of elbow grease. Okay, if you're going to use this, if you're going to use a substrate that isn't actually made to do sublimation, please know that you're going to work at it. Okay, so you sit there, you get it all cleaned up, and that's how you clean up the flashing. So this is so much nicer. It's rough down here still, so I would have to really work at it. But you know what, for the most part, it's fine. And that's how this. So we're going to press this right now. I use a regular paper cutting board for aluminum. I use a fabric tote. I don't know. Oh, that's what I couldn't think of. Hold on. I use a cutter like you showed a couple weeks ago. Can't find the name of them. Oh. The guillotine type paper cutter. Yes, I have one of, I call them the teacher paper cutters. It's the old teacher paper cutters. I have one of those too, and I also have one that you can slide on. I have a couple different kinds. I don't like the teacher one, so that's just me. So we're gonna press this right now, and I wanted to show you two different images and how it presses on aluminum. Okay, this is one, and this is the other. I want to show you what it looks like with light and dark colors on aluminum, just so that you're aware. Obviously, dark colors are going to show up the best. So, Let's... You lay it out however... Apparently I don't know how to put the United States on. However you so choose. Alright. Let me put my cap on here, because knowing me, I'm seriously going to... Now, you can use rubbing alcohol to clean it off. That's up to you. That's a you problem, not a me problem. I don't. It depends on really what it is. Put a little piece of tape. I don't use the Pro Spray. I don't for this. And I actually don't use Pro Spray at all. I use this. This is the spray that I use. It's a repositional spray that I got from Walmart. When I do use it, I don't use it very often because I'm still new to using it, believe it or not. I have literally taped my life away over the last 3.5 years of doing all of this. Okay, so that's it. Okay, that's all you're going to do. You're going to do this. You're going to get your handy dandy protective paper, put it on the bottom to protect your platen. Now you can see everything that I'm doing. Does that scare you? I know it scares me. I'm still using up the shit ton. Oops, sorry, I said that out loud. My apologies, I swore. Boatload ton of parchment paper that I bought until I can get to my butcher paper, because you can use butcher paper, you can use parchment paper and whatnot. So, my press is already set because it just happened to be the last thing that I pressed last night when I was doing testing and stuff. I'm so sorry, I swore. I try to be professional. It doesn't always work out for me. Okay. So, I have it set for 385 for 106 seconds. I know that seems kind of archaic that it's that high, but you know what? I need it to bake a little bit longer than the normal 60 to 65. That's me. This is how I do it. Whether it's right or wrong, who knows? You're going to actually, and let me just, again, explain for all the newbies that are watching, when we offer time, temp, and pressure, just remember it's a guideline. It's not an end-all, be-all, because your area is going to be different than my area. For instance, Stan from Coney Island lives in Coney Island. He lives near the sea. So he has to pre-press absolutely everything. Why? Because there's a lot of moisture in his area. I live literally 3.5 hours north in upstate New York, and we don't have that. Okay? So, clamp it down so it's really tight. As tight as, hand tight. Don't put it so that you're literally fighting with it. You really want to just put it to where, well, there's, a firm pressure on there. So I'm going to let that bake off. See if I need to answer any questions. You try flashing that's white. I did try the flashing that's white. I felt like it was muted. It has a very vintage look. I couldn't get it to have any bright, vibrant colors. For some reason, I found that the silver had brighter colors, and I don't know if it's because it was silver, but I found like the silver had a brighter color than anything else. So there's the answer to that. Let me find my think outside the box. All right, here's our think outside the box moment. As Margot had posted, she makes bow designs over in our graphics group, okay? And she gets this question probably about 1 trillion times in a week, and that is, can you put them on socks? The answer is yes, and she posted about how you can put them on socks. Okay, so when you see a design, whether it's from our graphics group itself, where we have about 10 graphic designers that are allowed to post and sell over there in our graphics group, or if you're buying them off of Etsy or wherever you buy your designs or making them yourself, think outside the box. Everything doesn't mean that it needs to be used for that particular item. So I may post an item that I did on a clipboard. This was our Christmas countdown board. Okay, this is my dry erase board. And you're like, well, where'd you get that shape? It's a clipboard. So here's the thing, and here's the beautiful thing. I don't use your typical dry erase boards. Why? Because I thought outside the box. I like shapes. I am so not a boring, straight edge girl, clearly. Hold. Take my protective paper off. By the way, it's hot, in case anybody forgets to tell you this. Now, I have fingers of steel. to a point. Now, I can tell you right now, the paper is probably going to stick, which is fine that it does. Because again, I'll be taking that off with water and whatnot. So don't freak out if it doesn't come off like I'm about to right now. Because it really stuck on this one. Wow, that's impressive. I'll have my husband go wash it off for me once he gets back from picking up our son from school. Or from Boy Scouts. So here's the thing. Mine is, there it goes. Mine stuck a little. Just a little. You got to get the edge off. So I'll wash that off. But here's the states. Let me get this up. Show you what I'm doing. So this stuck. Got to get this out underneath here. The paper stuck a little bit. These cool off very quickly too, by the way. Okay. So I'll take some hot water and I'll wash that all off and whatnot. But you could see that it left some paper film. And that's okay too. And that could be just that my pressure was just a little bit maybe too heavy. But you could see how the yellow and the black and even my states, how they totally completely turned out beautiful even on aluminum flashing. Is there a right or a wrong way to pressing these? Probably not, but I mean, it's aluminum flashing. It was never meant to actually use for sublimation. Just somebody who said, I wonder if you can do it, did it, and now here we are. So if you look, I use Home Depot because it's the aluminum that I find tried and true, that has always worked for me no matter when I've gone and picked it up. I don't know about other places or other brands. He's my best friend in my head. Aww! BFFs for life. So there's this. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to slide that over. Bring this up. And back to it. So, back to our thinking outside the box. Like I said, I use clipboards. Again, because I like shapes. Now, clipboards come two-sided. Well, let's think outside the box, shall we? This side is my Christmas countdown board. Because this has holes, I can now hang it. I don't need to set it on a stand. And it's already there for me. But if I go like this and flip it around, I now can use this as a regular just message board. I can put a design on it. I can put a chore chart. I can put down another countdown board. I can put down whatever I choose on the back. So now you've given your client two things, which you can then up the price a little bit because now you're giving them a 2-for-1 design on here. So, and it's all just by changing the direction of your ribbon. Okay, so think outside the box when you're doing these. This is why I strictly use clipboards. I have the message boards, and I'll show them to you. Ooh, I have too much stock. Shall we compare? Shall we? Okay, so here is my clipboard. It's fun and adorable, like me. And then this is the message board. This says I'm boring. Okay. It's cute. It's 8 by 10. You can get the larger one, but again, it doesn't come in a cute and fun shape because it just doesn't. It doesn't even come with holes. You'd have to drill the holes in it. So if you're going to get the 11 by 14, I think is the next size of these message boards, get a clipboard. All right. They're about the same cost, I believe, too. So there you go. This is the yellow protective coating for those who are about to ask me. You got to peel that off. And trust me, I've forgotten to peel it off on one side of my clipboard once. Makes for fun times. But there's your think outside the box moment. Look at something like a clipboard and think, what else could I use it for? All right. So those you can use as a dry erase board. All right. My next fun project was canvas. Let's talk canvas, shall we? With canvas, you can do a variety of things. Now, there's distributors who sell canvas by the yard. All right, so you buy it by the yard, all right, and you can actually use what these are for canvas wraps, the gallery wraps. I don't want to always do the wraps because it's expensive. I'm going to see if I can't find my box that has my pieces in it. And I apologize for not having it right at, there they are, right at the ready, just because my shop has been revamped. Let me pull my frames out. All right. So you can buy canvas and you can put it on anything. You can put it in a really inexpensive frame. You could wrap it around an inexpensive frame. I'm going to show you some different things that you can do that are a little less expensive because these bad boys are not cheap. Okay, I got these from Condi, and while yes, they all, whoops, in the wrong direction. I'm an idiot some days. Oh, there it is. Because believe it or not, there's a right or wrong way to put these together. There's like a little indentation, so you actually have to make sure. And then, yes, you put these together, you wrap your canvas around it, and you staple it. Okay, so this is pricey, all right? And I personally don't want a huge expensive option. Yes, you should in your shop have a pricier option, a more economical one, and one that you can do on the fly, okay? Or on the cheap, I should say. So you can get that canvas on a local distributor. But in our think outside the box moment, I would like to tell you, well, I can also get it for a little bit cheaper than buying it by the yard, and actually I'm going to have a little bit more, is if you go to Coney Island Transfer and you buy one of their white canvas Santa bags. All right, hold on, let me put all this stuff away real quick. Get out of my way. If you go and you buy one of his white canvas Santa bags, you literally can just cut along the bottom and up on the top. And now, if you're going to be making stuff like this, really inexpensive. I even went as far as, because I had one of his old style wine totes sitting around thinking, what am I going to do with these? I thought they also too make great designs. So I cut the bottom so it's finished. This one's not the finished one. So this one would be perfect of putting the wood on both sides. This one is already finished and sewn. If you're a sewer, go ahead and sew it. But for a quick DIY, these come in great. So here's what we're going to make. This. All right. This is one of those things that you can sell on the cheap. And it comes out really cute. They're great wall hangings. They're great for inspirational quotes. I have my affirmations, which are great for your refrigerator. It says, I'm attracting powerful and positive and healthy people into my life. So it's this cute little thing. This right here, this little one, all right, is great for kids. Okay, for when kids want to do projects and you want to teach about them, this is a great project for kids. It's small. So now you're going to ask me where I got all my stuff from, right? I'm on it, boss. So I went into your craft section of Walmart, and you can get what they call skinny sticks. That's it. I hot glued these guys together, and I'm going to show you how I did it, all right? All of this. So basically, I've already pre-printed this. I've already pre-printed this one. And what you do is you basically put a little bit of glue here. Okay. You lay this down. You're going to ask me time, temp, and pressure. I know you are. Well, it is at 385 for 60. Okay. Glue that down. And then you're going to glue this. Put your twine. Now, I did my twine a little bit differently. I wrapped it around here. Just give it a really cool look. This will actually go in my bathroom, believe it or not. And then you will glue this so it sits here. And you've sandwiched it in between. And then you would do the same for the bottom. It covers up those raw edges. And really, it's something really cute. This is a great craft fair type of thing. Now, I left mine in the raw, meaning I left the raw natural wood, but you can stain them, you can paint them, you can give them a little bit more finished edge by sanding them, whatever you want to do. Sometimes you got to put in a little bit of effort into this sublimation world and make beautiful things. Thank you, Stan. Stan, you can get the canvas bags. If you're going to want to try something out, get the canvas bags from Stan, because it's like $3.85 for a bag or some crazy thing, and you could cut it apart and use it. Whereas I paid, I want to say $10 a yard from Condi, and yes, I mean, canvas is canvas. It doesn't matter. You're going to use it for whatever you want to use it for. This is absolutely adorable. Like I said, you can make them as big or as small as you like. I went to the Home Depot because I spend a lot of time there. And you can get, and you can go even further with this, is you can go into the crown molding. Okay, where you can buy crown molding by the yard, you can buy it by the foot, you can buy it by whatever. Well, I wanted some plain crown molding, okay, or border molding. And don't worry, you don't have to own the power tools to cut it. Why? Because you can actually cut it at the Home Depot. So I cut mine 12 inches long. That's what I wanted, okay? So I sat there, cut them all. They're nice finished edges. And then when I go to put my stuff in, it has a nice finished look. I'll sand up the edges, make them nice and clean. You can, and Stan and I were up late last night talking about this, you can actually, if you're mechanically inclined, drill a hole through both ends. Please keep in mind, whatever you're putting the inside here, you want to go to at least a half to an inch on either side. Okay, and why is that? Well, the reason being is if you're going to drill a hole through it and you're going to put a wing nut, decorative wing nuts in here so you can clamp it down and hold it, it now becomes a versatile thing. So instead of having this as your door hanger, you can use this, and then you can change out your flags because you can put a flag. Again, let's think outside the box. Okay, let me find my thing. So Stan has placemats, and he also has, garden flags. Okay, so this is actually a placemat. I know it's upside down because it's my placemat and I did it. I would go 2 inches over, but if you use those wing nuts, this would be perfect, and then you can change it out for seasons, for holidays, and then you can sell the hangers separately, or you can sell them with one of these, and then they can buy the additional flags. However you do it is completely up to you. But if you had those wing nuts in there, you could sandwich it in between, and you see how it gives a nice finished edge, and then you can make a beautiful wall hanging tapestry for anybody. So this happens to be 12 inches, so you'd want to go the 13 inches. So you have the ½ inch at least on either side. You can buy small wing nuts. It'll tighten it up so that this stays in here. You're going to want to glue your hanger into here. You can use wire, you can use whatever you choose as your hanger, but this is a great hanger option for those who want to do the flags. I mean, I live in the Northeast, so me having a garden flag outside on a post is just not my thing. But I've done it to where I've hung it on my door. So, and everybody's asked me, well, what did you do? Well, there's 2 different options. So there you go. This was my think outside the box moment, and this was taking a placemat, a beautiful placemat. Oh, my goodness. Go. Go. I'm so sorry. I have 2 older dogs and one is blind, and they get a little upset with each other. So you want to have this on either side of it, going back to what I was saying, and it makes a great decorative look. You don't need to have anything on the back. You don't need to make it 2-sided. These are inexpensive enough to where it's just a tapestry at this point. So you're basically making a tapestry holder. So with that. Now if you have a flag, what you're going to want to do, tilt this down, you're going to want to take your wire and wrap it around, okay? And I'm going to show you how I did that. Let me find my wire. So you go and you get some floral wire, okay? It's so easy enough to cut. I'm going to just take a random dowel, okay? Give yourself a little bit of give. Wrap it around, okay? And then you're going to want to twist it about a gazillion times. And you can do it a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter. It doesn't really matter. Okay? But, and what I forgot to do is the first side. The first side is the side that you're actually going to take off. So make yourself a loop. Can you guys see it okay? Sorry. So you're going to make yourself a loop. Okay? You want to take this loop. You're going to twist it. Okay? So you have this. Why? Because what you're going to do is take this, feed this through, and you're going to tighten it. And this is how you would take on and off your flag. Okay, so this would slide off, and then this slides back on. okay? Whereas, and I can't do it because I have this long piece, this would stay stable on one side. So if you notice, it stays stable here. I don't want to take that off. And you can actually put a little bit of dotted glue so it stops somebody from pulling it off. But this is the side that actually slides on and off. All right, and if they mess it up, they can always just loosen it, whatever. But this is how I make them. And I usually include it with my garden flag, then I sell it for the door. Again, see, watch. I was having trouble because I have nails. You literally just open up. There's a variety of different ways. You can use these, where the heck are they? If you use the bigger rounded dowels, you can use these. There's lots of different options for you to use it. So start thinking outside the box when it comes to these, and use dowels, and then you can use them as a wall hanging. You can use them as a, give me 1 second. Out. You can use, like I said, the dowels. I used a thin dowel because this is a small one. So that's that. The hubby made wall hanging quilts. Stand looks great idea. You can sublimate on regular old canvas from Michael's and do a reverse. You could, but why? I mean, yes, you can get canvas, you can get fabric, you can do felt. There's lots of different fabrics that you can use as long as it's 100% poly, yes. But I was just trying to do a think outside the box moment for that. Now, another think outside the box moment, and I probably did it on something a little bit bigger than you needed it to be, but I think if I cut down for future reference, if I cut down the wood. So I showed this to Stan last night, and I giggled. I go, so what do you think? He goes, it's great. It's vibrant colors. Now, mind you, I would use different pieces of wood, mind you, okay? And he's like, that's great. And I go, good. Do you know what it is? He's like, is that a lens cloth? yeah, it is. So this is a lens cloth. Like I said, I would definitely use, this is great. I mean, it does have this. You could probably make a frame, get your craft on, because it's very flimsy, but when you're definitely putting it up on a wall, ooh, I'm gonna burn myself. Let's see if I can do this. When you're putting it up, it doesn't matter because it will lay flat. So, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. They press beautifully, those lens cloths, so that's another think outside the box moment. Another thing for these lens cloths too, and I was thinking wedding season's coming up. In wedding season, you can actually do these as like a handkerchief. I know they're not the true blue huge handkerchiefs, but you could definitely use those as a handkerchief because usually they're personalized anyway, and they don't ever use them. So there's that. All right, let's get to it. We're going to do this mug wrap that everybody keeps asking me about. So far, are we good? Pups are just like kids. Ugh. Like I said, my doggies. Oh, and on this design, okay, everybody's asked. Let me get it right up and close. So it's faux gems, okay? People are going to ask me about the faux glitter. Well, here's the faux gems, okay? And that's what they are. They're just, it's a printed sublimation. This is not a water slide. This is true blue sublimation. So it's dishwasher safe. Top rack only is what I would do. Please note that when you're putting something in your dishwasher nowadays, dishwashers are running a lot hotter than they used to back in the day, so you can get your print taken off. So I try to tell people to hand wash. But if they throw it in their dishwasher, that's on them. I also did a tutorial last year, sorry, on how to put this on the handle. Yes, we are now about to start a cult about people putting stuff on the handle. So that's I did a whole tutorial. It's the last Sass of the year, of last year, and I showed you how to put it on the handle. So, soup pocket squares. That's a good one, Margot. Woo-hoo for Margot. Woohoo, thinking outside the box. I love when people think outside the box. You can also cut down polycart. Oh yeah, absolutely. You can also take pillowcases from Walmart too. The 100% microfiber ones. You can even take the pillowcases from Stan and use those, which sounds weird, but think about it. If you take a 14 by 14 of his, let me show you, and I'll show you why. because then all you have to do is the wood on the one side. All right, so here's the 14 by 14 burlap. If you cut this straight across, because you're going to literally pinch it between the wood part of it, it now has a beautiful edge that I didn't have to sew, and I can make it now reversible. So you can use one of his canvas, any of his canvas, or even the velour ones. I wouldn't necessarily use the velour ones, and here's why. They're a little bit more flimsy, just like the lens cloths. They're a little bit more flimsy. So you're going to want to have them weighted here and there. But these being the burlap, this is where it's at, right here. I know that Amy is doing testing on some new products. We've got some new products coming out this year. So we've got some, I know she's in the market of testing pet products. So look for those soon. If you haven't got your snap jewelry, get on it. She has the snap jewelry with the bolo bracelets. There's a couple different bracelets. Ooh, you want to see? Let me get it. So these are a magnetic. Now, if you've got tiny wrists like I do, this will work perfect. If you've got a larger wrist, you really have to measure for these, okay? Because this is not a one size fits all. This is definitely something that you want to have. But look, I don't know if you can see that. It's probably better if I put it like this. So this is the snap jewelry. It kind of reminds me of what they call the spoon jewelry or the fork jewelry with that detailing on the other side of it. But again, there we go. It's all that snap jewelry. Now, if you want a more one size fits all, you get into these. And this is the bolo jewelry, which I absolutely love. It is a lightweight. This is probably my favorite. Actually, I know it's my favorite because I really said to Amy, oh my God, you have to get that. So we introduced these last year in December. Again, snap jewelry. This is a one size fits all. So this is not. This is. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with clients. If you decide you want to have a one size fits all, or you want to have one that actually is a little bit more snug. Like I said, this is a one-handed. You can put it on with a magnet. It's very easy. I could show you something else she's coming out with. She's going to start carrying other charms. I just don't know what the other charms are, but I do know, and I do know because her and I have talked about it. She is going to start carrying these. They're like those Alex and Ani style bracelets where you'll be able to put charms on it. So she's in the works on working on this stuff. So you can have this too as a one size fits all option. So her and I have been working, she's been working, I've just been giving my commentary on those. Stan's got sequins. I know he's got some sequin backpacks, I think, coming in. I can't wait to get those. He's got a lot of things coming in too. So keep eye on our local, because anybody who ever listens to me, we do local. Okay, our local is Halebound and Coney Island, and then we shop at the other places. So always choose Halebound or Coney Island transfers. Try them for looking for your stuff. I'm gonna tell you flat out right now, I only buy my bibs, blankets, burp cloths, my towels from Stan. Why? They are thicker, they press beautifully, and I don't buy them from anybody else, okay? I just don't. I have bought them from other places, and I gotta tell you, the quality is not the same. And I did a Sass a while back about the quality between burp cloths and bibs from Kid Blanks, and I gotta tell you, nothing compares to Stan's. Nothing, okay? So keep that in mind. I'm going to turn off my other heat press. I'm going to turn on the convection oven. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to press this mug, all right, in the convection oven using this wrap. Now you're asking me what the wrap is. Here is the handy dandy little pamphlet. Okay. I'm going to show you this just because everybody and their brother wants to see the barcode. This is a macaroon mat. Actually, it's in the baking sheet. It's reversible. Mazel tov. This is 10 by 16, but you can cut it down to get, like I got some little pieces. I made a total full wrap, and I just taped mine on. But I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks about why you need to tape the living heck out of these. Okay, so I have one that's for a bigger image. I have one that's for a smaller image. It all depends on what size image, but you definitely want this to be the same width as whatever mug you're working with. Okay, so here's the thing. You're going to tape the living heck out of it. Okay, I've taped this down already. All right, let me turn this off real quick. It gets rather warm in the shop. Okay, now I always start by the handle. Why? I don't know. Don't ask. Okay, so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tape the living heck because there's so much pressure with this. I rub it all in. Okay. Listen, if you're not going to buy the wraps that have the actual clamp on them, you have to understand you're going to tape them to death. Okay? So if you're thinking, oh, she's wasting so much tape, well then go buy the darn thing that has the clamp on it, and then we can discuss that later. Okay? Or go buy a mug press. Pretty simple. Okay? There's your Sass. Yet again. I literally will tape this all the way up. Now, I do it crossways. I don't go down. And the reason being is I want this because as it does pull up, and it will pull up, all right, it still has some more surface area of the tape to hold tight. Tape this like it was a job, okay? So tape is cheap, by the way. Okay, now, it's very important that you get this very top corner and this bottom corner to tape down, okay? Really make sure it's nice and in there, okay? Now, you can pull these, and you do. You pull it so that it's snug against the mug, okay? And again, because you're pulling the living daylights out of these, you want to make sure that you're going to tape them down all the way, okay? Put some time and effort into it. If you're going to sit here and you want to do it and you don't want to waste any mugs, then put the time and effort into it. It's really that simple. I truly agree. They love me. If you have a mug press, do you need to wrap them? I don't. I don't wrap them. I literally, for me, okay, and that's my mug press over there, I literally just put my transfer on and I put it in my mug press. I have never had blowout on mine, ever. And I've been doing this 3.5 years now, almost 3.5 years. So I've never had a blowout with my mug. I never put protective paper. Now Stan, on the other hand, anytime he puts his mug in a mug press, he puts a piece of 8x10 paper. He just wraps it around, and he uses like you can use regular printer paper. Just use blowout paper. You don't have to put a mug wrap on it. If you're, and I never do. To answer that question, go back to that. Can you use that wrap on glass? Yes. Yes, you can. You can use it on anything that you're going to put in your convection oven because they are made for 300 or 450 degrees. So it's a silicone. Okay. Do your due diligence. Okay. So there's that. And I might even put a little bit of tape right up in here so that this kind of stays, you know, whatever. Tape's cheap. So, all right, let's stick this in the oven. So I have a Black & Decker, all right, literally. I like my handle out because this thing does get hot. It does get really hot in here. So I like it so that it doesn't wobble and that the handle's sticking out, okay? I'm going to set my timer, 400 degrees for 12 minutes, okay? And I have it marked on my thing. So that's going to bake off. Now, I noticed last night because I did not have enough tape, and I'm going to show you what happened was I didn't have enough tape at the top. So what happened when I didn't have enough tape at the top, it kind of shadowed, not so much shadow, it just didn't get a nice clean press. Okay, so this is what happens when you don't have it tight enough. And that was the thing, you know, Stan and I talked about it, that it needed to be tighter near the top. So, you know what, for the most part though, the colors came out absolutely amazing. This was done with the wrap. Now, I also don't want you to freak out too, because I kind of freaked out, because I don't see it. I have what they call red wraps. Okay, I bought wraps from Johnson Plastics. Okay. So basically this was their, you can buy the ones that go on their water bottles. You can buy the ones that go on their pint glasses. That's what this one was. So I literally just started cutting them. Why? Because I didn't need them for a full wrap because I already have a mug press. But when I'm doing odd shaped things, again, when you're doing the handle, this comes in handy because this is what I did. I took this, you see how it's really stretchy? These are just about as stretchy, not quite, but that might come over in time because it's still new. But when you're doing, you only have about a ½ inch. Okay, here. So it's a ½ inch by 3. Put your image down. Take this, stretch this so it's nice and tight over it. Now, if you're going to be doing this, here's the deal, okay? It's a two thing. If you have a mug press and you want to put it on the handle, do your handle first. Pop it in your oven, do your handles first. Then you can take it all off and put it in your mug press. Do not do your mug press first and then put it in there or you're going to take off your image. Just going to throw that out there. Not that I knew that or anything. So you want to put this down, you want to tape the living heck out of this, and it makes it nice and tight, and then that's how you get the image on the handle. All right, you can put a name there, you can put a date there, you can put whatever you want there, you know, for giggles' sake. Now, people have also asked, can you sub on the bottom? I tried. The problem is I think what they do is it might have some coating, but it's not as good as you would think it is. I mean, I think it's what they call like an after spray or whatever. So I tried doing 3 circles because this is so concaved in to see if I could at least get this in here. I think the only way is you have to bake the living daylights out of it. In order for this to go, the heat to go through 3 layers of silicone. So I'm going to go with, no. I'm going to try it again and see if maybe if I tape this down just a little bit better, we can get it to work. I'm still working on the work in progress. We'll work on that. Because I'm not quite convinced because I did get an image, not right 100% sold that it's wrong. So we'll work on that. Let me answer your fun-loving questions. Now I didn't think of taping my wrap. Yay, Jocelyn! Can you cut up the baking sheet? So, yes. So, here's the baking sheet. It was 10 by 16, and I made a full mug wrap. And, well, there's one in there. And then I made another one. Oh, and this is what I was going to say. See, I didn't put blowout paper. I've never had to put blowout paper because I don't notice it on my red. And as Stan said, it's red. This is pink. And it happens. But anyway, you can see the design. It literally bled through the paper. I've never had that happen ever in my lifetime. I understand what blowout is, but I've never actually had the design come right straight through the paper. Oh no. I guess I do now. But that's why you could put down a piece of protective paper, tape the living hell out of that onto your mug, and then add your wrap. Or if you really just don't care and it's going to be covered by paper anyway, yeah. But these are cheap. Okay, it's far cheaper. You can get a lot of different versatile things out of it. It really comes in handy. So if you're looking for an inexpensive alternative to those very expensive mug wraps that you can get that are the red, you know what? The macaroon mat from Michaels works beautifully. And we're going to show you that. So there's that. Let me grab my coffee real quick. Could you put several layers of... You could, yeah. The oven I have is the Black & Decker convection oven from Walmart. It's like 50 bucks. You can do a couple different mugs in there. I just want to make sure that my thing isn't coming out. What you're going to notice, if you have a mug wrap or if you have a mug press and a convection oven, is your tape. The tape does not peel up and curl. This is why you got to tape the living hell out of it. in your mug press because it's pressed all the way around, so your tape's not curling. Whereas in your convection oven, it has nothing to hold against it. That's why they have mug wraps that are locking mechanisms so that it's tight on there. That is the reason and the purpose of those mug wraps. Now, I also understand that you don't want to spend $50 for a mug wrap. I get that too. So just keep in mind that's why you tape the living hell out of it, is because, like, I can tell you right now, my tape is curling a little bit on the end, so that's why you've got to add long pieces of tape, and you've got to add a lot of them. Keep in mind. Good morning, Ashley Dodd. It's the Ashley Dodds of Ashley Dodds. Have you ever subbed a whole mug even under the handle? No. No, I haven't conquered that beast. Having a mug press, you can't. You just can't do it with a mug press, and I have no need. Have I done to, like, and everybody always asks me, where do you stop? I come 2 fingers width from, what the hell's on my hands? 2 fingers width from the handle on either side. Which is about 8.5, 8.25 around. These are 15 ounce. I only do 15 ounce. My 11 ounces are ones that I use for giveaways because they're the less expensive option. But I always do my 15 ounces. That's the only one I sell in my shop. So this is a 4 by 8.25 is the design. I always give you 8.5 when I'm doing a mug design itself. But no, I don't. If anything, what I like to do is I put a design here, and then I'll put some sort of cute little inspirational saying or quote or an affirmation here. Just something that when you're looking at it, because that's also been the question, is where do you position your image? Well, you're looking at me. This is where I do it for my right-handed. I never put it here because I don't stand holding my cup of coffee doing this. And people ask, and this has probably been the most comical conversation I've ever read. So no, I do not put my image right here. I don't, because I don't stand that way. I stand this way. I want people to read. I want them to see what I do. I don't need it pointing at my boob, okay? Pretty much. I don't stand like this, and I can say for 100% fact, either do you. So this is why I put it this way, whether it's right or left-handed, it doesn't matter. This is why I put it on this side of the mug. Now, if you're doing a full wrap, have at it. But if you're going to do one-sided like I did here, this is how people stand, okay? People don't stand the other way. So there's the answer, and that's my reasoning. It's not right or wrong, but it makes sense, and you can't say that I'm wrong. Is it better for clear tape or the normal brownish tape? Well, here's the tape that I have, because you definitely need heat tape, okay? This is a heat tape thing. So I have this little handy dandy holder that you can get too. But make sure it's just heat tape. It doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it's a heat sensitive tape. Your new monthly design. Aw, thank you. Same one as Nikki's. Now that I can think of it, I'm going to add. See? Right and left, and that's all you have to say. Are you right-handed? Are you giving it to a right-handed or left-handed? Now, the world of left-handed people doesn't exist in our world, okay? Because it's a world of right-handed people. But that's why all my mugs are usually right-handed, because most left-handed people hold it in the right hand. Which also brings me up to another point, and that is coming soon. I know there's going to be a buy. I don't want to call it a buy-in. It's not a group buy either, but we're looking to get the left-handed oven mitts. Crickets. I just heard crickets. That's right. So now, if you haven't, Amy's looking to get it because I asked her to. I totally destroyed one. We won't even get there, but they're so soft. Anyway, you'll now have a right and a left. So now you're going to be able to sell these as sets. Whoop, whoop. How cute will that be? Right? And if you haven't bought one of Amy's, I'm going to tell you right now, when I'm doing designs for these, I like these because they go straight across. I know you can get the ones that are from Conde and they go up, which makes it hard for any of my designs to go on these. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. And They're very snuggly soft on the inside. Okay, they're super soft. I love these. I love the linen look too. And I know Stan's going to be getting some more items with the linen look as well because it helps for color. Again, I destroyed this one. You're looking for, this is what it looks like when it's pressed. Okay, so that's coming down the pike. Lots of cool things coming down the pike. All right, so think outside the box when you're doing stuff. Hold it in my left hand. Right? Yeah. You hold it in your left hand, Karen? We'll see it. Now you know. I couldn't figure out what was going on over there. My printer's doing its monthly maintenance. I do the same design on both sides, so I don't ever have to think about what a person prefers, which is perfect. You absolutely can. I personally only put it on one side, and like I said, a small little affirmation on the other. But that's just preference. It all, whatever you decide, you are setting your standards. It's not what one size fits all, okay? Sublimation will never be a one size fits all. So let's keep that in mind. When we're offering something time, temp, pressure, or we're offering where a design should be placed or could be placed, it could be, you decide what your standard is. Okay, and no one is going to tell you that you're wrong. Okay, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. No, because that's what you've decided is best for you, and I decide what's best for me, and that's what sells. But I listen to my clients too, and that's another thing. Listen to your clients. All these items, I get jealous. Aww, right-handed, but my computer left hand. I love the affirmation or quote. This year is all about affirmations and quotes. Here's another little one. So here's the ones that I have. Like I said, it says, I'm attracting powerful and positive and healthy people into my life. So I'm attracting all of you. You're powerful, you're attractive, and you guys are amazing. And you guys too can do absolutely anything. So just put your mind to it. Todd on Todd Tuesdays tells you that. Listen, if you're not hustling, then you're not going to make it in this business. Okay, you need to put the hustle in. You need to put the time in. And people, and I wrote a post about it. Do I sleep? There's a rumor I don't sleep. No, I really don't. Why? Because my business, the sublimation part, is still in infancy. Anything 5 years and younger in my world is infancy because you're still learning, you're still honing in on your craft and your trade, and you're learning what's best for you. After 5 years, you should probably have it down by then, okay? But know that, okay? Put the time and the effort into it. Research, research, research. Everybody has asked me what design program I have. And if I show them how to do it, I'm still learning, okay? I am still learning how to do Photoshop. I literally had a Photoshop lesson last night, and this is a true story, at 2:30 in the morning. I am literally messaging Margot. Margot and I are chitty-chatting back and forth, and Stan is telling me how to work on a particular item in Photoshop and how I could do X, Y, and Z. And we Skype. Him and I Skype, so I can share my screen and he can go, listen, doofus, you're doing it wrong, okay? No, he doesn't say that to me. But okay, maybe he does sometimes. He yells at me. But that's how he's teaching me because I can't get it sometimes. And I see a video tutorial and I think, so I know what I want to do is I have Skype. And if you ever want to Skype me and ask me a question or show you, I can show you. You know, I'll do the best that I possibly can. And then you can share your screen. So if you haven't, go get a camera for your computer. I have I think it's a Linux. Go get a camera. Inexpensive one. Get Skype. It's free. And sign up and we can become Skype buddies and I can say, hey, listen, show me your screen and then we can talk about it. That means you're actually going to have to not hide behind your screen and show me your beautiful smile because I show you mine all the time. My other affirmation was, I am now creating my life exactly the way I want it. And I am. I only work for me. I do what I want, what's best for me. And ultimately, it's what becomes best for my family. So I know that's done. Anybody who knows pulling that sucker out of the damn oven is going to be hot. So there you go. Is there dishwashing glove that you can sub on? I don't think so. I've never seen dishwashing gloves that you can sub on. I'm not saying that you can't. but I'm going to assume no, just because of the type of material that they are. Let's see. You can get great quality mugs. I think, yes, I get mine from JPP, and here's why I get mine from JPP. My JPP rep literally works only about 20 minutes away. I don't pay shipping, ever. I get a lot of stuff from Johnson Plastics, so I'm team JPP. I'm team Coney, and I'm team Halebound, so don't get that twisted. But when it comes to a lot of the stuff that they don't sell, I am a team JPP because of that. I can get it right then and there. Although I'm slowly getting on the Condi train because Condi has stuff that JPP doesn't. Okay. Now, do you see what happens? This happens, okay? And that's okay. That's why you really have to tape the living hell out of it, okay? Because you want this, all right? And the reason is and see, one piece of tape, actually, because I probably didn't do these long enough, all right? Your trial by error. Get a mug. Even use a mug that you've already screwed up, okay? Get a mug that you've already screwed up. Oh, and by the way, I never put mine in water. Never put it in water, never put it on a fan. I don't see the purpose of it, to be completely honest with you. So we're gonna just take this beautiful little piece of information off. I use my vinyl tweezers because they're beautiful. They stop me from getting burned. Okay. It is. Okay. Okay. So, you might want to move your wrap up just a little bit because that's the second time that's happened to me, but I can show you at least what it looks like. So, I need to move up my design or at least tape it down a little bit better. Again, trial by error. Because I have a mug press, I would never use this. I only would use this to do the handles. But for the most part, so here's the thing. Make sure you tape really well to that top so that it seals it down because there's air getting in there. That's what that means. It's not sitting flush against the mug, but for the most part, it presses absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so this was just a trial by error. This was a me thing, all right? So make sure you probably tape right around the rim so that you can get it. Again, if you're not using a mug wrap with a clamp and you don't have a mug press, you've got to figure this out. So what I would do then is take this mug once it's cooled down, put a new image on this side, tape the living heck out of it and see what would work and try it again. Throw it in there for the 12 minutes and see what happens. Like I said, it's not horrible. It's so not perfect. And it's only right here up at that edge. All right. So this all printed out gorgeous. All right. And the deep red is absolutely true because January is garnet. So that deep red is absolutely stunning. And it printed good. So like I said, just tape that down or shrink your image so you don't have to worry about it. That's completely up to you. But I like to try to go top to bottom with my images. So there you go. There's a note to self. Again, not a pro at this, but because I have a mug press, I would never have pressed this in there. So there you go. There's the answer to the age-old question. Practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. These cool down really fast too, by the way. But, oh, as I've always said, you buy a couple extra substrates just because you need to practice. And if it's something new or a new item that you're going to use, you might want to have some practice. So I also was doing something new for me, and that was acrylics. So again, trial by error. I wasn't getting enough pressure. I wasn't getting enough of anything. And I finally got it. So when you're doing acrylics and you're doing acrylic photo panels, you need this handy dandy jig. Okay, this is for the 8x10. You need everything that they tell you. You need the little foam mat for the bottom. You need the green mat for the top. Could you use the silicone in a pinch? You probably could. I didn't because my green mat hadn't come in yet. And I ended up with pitted holes And this was ridiculous. Okay, we have no idea why I ended up with pitted holes, to be honest with you. I had I have a bigger red rubber mat. I didn't have quite the mat to fit. So there was that. Once my big green mat came in, which is very expensive, and if you have to buy the green foam mat, you buy it pretty much the size of your press. I bought mine for my largest press, which is a 16 by 20. All right. This mat was like $130 at Johnson Plastics. It's $30 cheaper than Condi. So this was hugely important. That's great for when you're doing slates. That's great for any of that type of stuff. But at any rate, I finally got it. No pits. Came out absolutely gorgeous. Ashley is the one that inspired me to do these because she makes it look so easy. I had to learn. But even she'll tell you she had to learn too. So these are just really fun to make once you get them going. You clean it off and it's absolutely gorgeous. So that is what these are. These are the acrylics 8x10. So as you get better, this is not something I would try jumping right out of the gate. Newbies unite. You should really start with mugs. You should start with mugs, and you should start with slates, and even slates is a little more advanced. Ornaments, all of that stuff. Start small, work your way up. If you jump to acrylics, it can confuse you. Good morning, Amy Hale. The boss is in. It means I better behave. What does everyone do with their trials? I usually keep mine. My mugs in particular. I keep them. I giggle at them. Sometimes I'll put them on my display shelf, just kind of like background. People aren't sitting there critiquing them when they come and pick up their orders. It depends on how bad they are. But for the most part, I keep my trials. If my trials come out really good, I donate them. You know, as long as they came out good, I'll donate them, or I'll even sell them, and I'll sell them, and, you know, this was my sample. For the most part, though, sometimes it's really just for me. It's to keep at my house and put up and see how I like it. So there's that. I give it away to friends, my kids, you know, that kind of thing. Yes, Debbie, it is officially Sunday. Poor woman was looking for the Sass yesterday. What about the green mats from Amazon? I've never used the green mats from Amazon, to be completely honest with you, so I do not know 100% if they work or how they, you know, you can always buy it and test it out. I don't know how much they even cost. Know nothing about them. I thought about buying those. Any thoughts? Did you purchase the jig? Yes, the jig. You have to purchase the jig. Okay. I want to say it's like $50 to purchase that jig, and literally when it comes off the press, the acrylic is so pliable, you definitely need gloves for it, or hot mats or something, because it's so pliable and so hot. You literally lay it in, and it does that concave shape. And then you just let it sit and cool, and that's really just that simple. So there's that. Good morning, Christina, or Krista. Morning, Sandy. Amy, you want to list what we got new coming in? Peas? I've tried to list what I know is coming down the pike, or what we're looking to get. I did talk about the snap jewelry, by the way, because she's going to ask. But that is it in a nutshell. I mean, that's how you can do any of these items. Like I said, think outside the box for all of your items. Not every item needs to stay what it is. Like I said, I did this morning. You could do these as bigger ones. You can even staple, you know, put this on one side and put their thing on the other. Amy has two-sided garden flags that you can do. As long as you cut your wood, you can literally just staple this and put a hanger on it. I mean, and it becomes a nice finished product. This is great for when you're doing indoor stuff. This just happens to be a placemat. I would do a little bit bigger on either end. You can do the wing nuts, like I had said, or the garden flags. If you want a garden flag and you live like I do in the north, then you can make the wooden dowels. This is just a smaller version of it, and you can add your own if you have the bigger dowels, which I also have, I make a slit in the end. I'll show you. They have little tiny handheld saws. They're only about this big. But you can cut in there, and then you can slide your wire in, and you create like a knot here. Let's see. So it would sit, I don't have it slit yet, so it would slide in here, and you create a knot. All right, so they can slide it in and out in order to change out their flag. But that's what the bigger dowels are great for. So these fit, this is the 1/2 inch. Yes, this is the 1/2 inch dowel that you can get. And literally, I bought it at the Home Depot, cut it to size that I needed to right then and there. But let's get handy, and that's how you can do these. And you can just sell the hangers for people too. You don't have to, you know, let's say they have a garden flag stand already, but now they want it for their door. Well, you can sell just these, or you can sell it with a flag too as well. Always upsell, 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 upsell. The best that you possibly can, obviously. Not everything's an upsell. So, there's that. Let me see what we're doing. Tried. I know. Amy's not awake yet. Amy's like an hour behind, and I kind of forget that she's an hour behind. And that woman, I wish I could have her life because she can sleep. I don't know how to sleep. So, there's that. Some things you should always have in your shop that help make life easier. Here are at least 5 things you should have in your shop at all times. 1, obviously heat tape. 2, as reluctantly as I said, I would never use it, I use it. This is the Loctite version, multi-purpose repositional spray that yes, you can use, and I've used it multiple times. You only use a little spritz of it. No, I do not spray it in my house. I literally stand out on my front porch, give it a little bit of spritz, let it spray over the top, and let it land on it, because I've sprayed it on it and it looks like a hot mess. If you get a lot of glue buildup, it ruins your design, so you just better reprint that. I also keep 2 different size rulers because you never know what you're going to use. So I have an 18-inch and I have the 12-inch metal rulers. They work for a wide variety of projects. I have a magnifying glass because you know what? I ain't getting any younger. I'll be 42 this month, and my eyes, especially tired eyes, don't always see the best in the quality, or if something's, you know, askew. Also, make sure, I think that's 5. Make sure you always have rubbing alcohol. This is very inexpensive. Grab one of your towels you screwed up on, and use that to clean off all of your substrates. Because rubbing alcohol, that's what takes it off. Amy will tell you the same thing, especially when you get her stuff. Let me see. Let me go to the Hellbound board, or box here. Hold on, let me get one of hers. So, when you get anything from Amy, it's not that it's bad by any stretch of the imagination, but you see these brown marks right here? Once I peel off my protective coating, you take some of the rubbing alcohol and it comes off. That's just what happens when it gets cut. That's so normal. Why? It's black on the back. You have to assume it's going to end up shining through. So don't freak out when you see this on there. Peel your protective coating off, use some rubbing alcohol, and that gets away a lot of the pain. All right, there's that. I think that's it. Any questions? Any questions? What's the turnaround time? Yeah, they try to be really good about their shipping times. People are asking what the shipping times are. I live in New York, and Amy does her due diligence being in Texas about how she ships my items, and what's the best possible way, whether it's UPS or FedEx or whatever it may be, to make sure that you get your stuff in a very timely manner. She does her due diligence on that, so keep that in mind. Now also, so Amy, because she has hard substrates and she's managed to figure out weights and all that other jazz, her shipping is included into her pricing. Where Stan's, you get a shipping invoice after. Now, there's been some controversy about it. And I can see both sides of the fence. She's got some hard substrates that are pretty standard and whatnot. And he has soft substrates. Again, things are changing. And when you add to an order, be forewarned, your shipping is going to change. Okay? So they each have two different styles. If you're not getting your Coney Island order, you have to ask yourself, did I pay for my shipping invoice? And if you don't know, log into your account and find out. It will be right there. I know he's looking to do a couple of different new things when it comes to that. That I'll let him tell you all about. But for the most part, look for your shipping invoice from Coney Island. Okay, that's really that simple. And Hellbound, if it's ever been like too much, like it's been a couple dollars, even a couple dollars, that just tells you the kind of character that Amy is. I got refunded $1.36. $1.36 because my shipping was, her calculations for my shipping was a little bit off. She refunded me back $1.36. Okay, so that just speaks volumes of her professionalism and how ethical she is, because she totally could have pocketed that $1.36, to be honest with you, and she doesn't. So, I have to put that out there because most people don't realize that she sits and does that every night. And I only know that she does that for 100% fact because I've gotten shipping refunds. And I'm usually Skyping her while she's sitting there doing her paperwork. So, there you go. I can see both sides of why they do what they do. Just keep that in mind for everybody, please. I appreciate that. Again, at the top of the hour, I talked about the group rules. Please live by them. It'll be the last time this Sass you'll hear me go over the group rules. No in search of posts. Don't post your graphics group, or not graphics group. Don't post any of your personal pages that you sell stuff on. That's just not allowed. And if you have a buy-in group, I can say bye-bye to you. Okay? Don't make us mute and boot you. If you see some questionable content and it does violate the rules, please hit report, because we don't get to see everything, because we are the largest sublimation group on the planet. I say that lovingly. We're over 35,000 strong, okay, and growing in leaps and bounds daily. So while all of us new people or all of us old people, depending on which way you look at it, pros and not, always choose kind. Nobody's going to do this perfectly. Even the pros don't do it perfectly. And don't try to keep your snarky down to a lower level. You know, people are trying to learn. We're a huge university, to call it something, of learning all about sublimation. And that's what we're here for. We're here to support each other, not bring each other down. So negative speak is not allowed. And I even have to catch myself and bite my tongue, because I'm going to be completely honest. Sometimes questions do aggravate the crap out of me. Not because it's one that hasn't been asked. It's probably been asked 5,000 times. But it's when you get aggravated when I've given you the answer. That's probably... He's fine. That's probably one of the biggest pet peeves that I have. I'm trying to help you, so keep your snarky down to a level and I won't have to bring out mine. So that is my friendliness for this start of 2019. What are your goals? Remember, my goal is to set boundaries with clients. That is my goal for this year. And to keep, my set hours for my physical products that I sell, and not always answer everybody, and kind of walk away from the computer and be in the moment of my family and my friends, and not let my business control my life. So that is my goal for 2019. It doesn't sound like a big hefty goal, but when you are a workaholic like I am, it is a daunting task. So pick one goal, only one. Tell me what it is in the comments. I would love to hear what your goal is for 2019. I know that Amy already met her goal, and actually it started in last of 2018 and in 2019, and that was she got her own space. So that's huge. So I expect a lot more things being cranked out from Hellbound now that she has that new space and whatnot. So with that said, this has been the Sass for 2019, January 6th, and I am so excited that you guys all joined me in all of this crazy madness and shared in some really cool and fun products. I have a bunch of stuff coming for next week. Until then, you guys have a great rest of your week. I clearly need more coffee or sleep. I'm not really sure which it is. Until then, you guys have a great Sunday. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.